So what David was zeroing in on is we have a level sits up on top of the intake manifold, and when you run one of these engines, it has to be level front to back because you want the fuel distribution to be uniform all the way through all cylinders as it's running. So we take real close precaution to make sure we get one level. And you can see we got the bubble on it. It's right dead in the center. So we're good to go with this hookup. We're gonna start moving forward. Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Benny Auto Parts face page. It is Monday morning. The shop is closed today, but myself and a couple of my other employees are down here. We're getting this Pontiac engine on the stand, getting ready to get it cranked up and ready to adjust everything and set it to specs. As you can see, we've already gotten it on the stand. We've got everything mounted in. It's good to go. Got it level up here. The next step we're going to do is get ready to put oil in this engine. And what we like to do here, we have a pressurized system that we use that has air in a tank, and actually what it does, it forces the oil through the system. In other words, it goes, put it in right here at the oil pressure switch right here, and as it forces the 5 quarts through the engine, it pushes it all the way through all the bearings, push rods, lifters, or even up to the rock arms. So when we get ready to crank this engine, it will already be primed, and the oil will be all through the oiling system, including into the oil filter. So it will not have a dry startup. It'll crank up the oil already in the places that it needs to be. So got a tank here. We got 5 quarts of 30 weight break-in oil in our tank. I've got 60 pounds of air pressure in it. I've got my fitting here into the oil pressure switch where you normally pick up your oil pressure. So I'm going to hook this up. And then we're going, ready to go. And we're going to open the valve. And we're going to put some oil in. This process generally takes 5 to 10 minutes to get all the oil in it. We're down to about 40 pounds now. It's a little bit of a slow process, but it's well worth it to prevent that dry startup. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Benny Auto Parts Facebook page. It's Tuesday morning, January the 3rd, 2023. Where did 22 go? I can't believe it's already 23. But anyway, hope everybody had a happy new year. I hope all those football games turned out like you wanted them to. I know mine certainly did. Being a Georgia fan, I was very, very happy with the way that game turned out. But anyway, with that being said, we're here this morning. We've got the Pontiac 400 engine for the 67 GTO. It's mounted on the engine stand engine ready to stand. We're hooking everything up. We're almost ready to get it fired up. There's a couple little things we've got to finish up, getting it hooked up, but it won't be too much longer. We've got oil in it, we've got water in it, radiator hoses on, distributors in it, wires, plugs, all that's in it. So we're getting ready to get this thing fired up. So stay tuned. As we get her going, we'll keep you up to speed on it and let you see and hear it run. So hopefully it all turn out good. You're always a little apprehensive whenever you got a fresh build like this and you're getting ready to start it up. But anyway, it'll turn out good, I'm sure. So thanks for watching, and we hope to get this finished up this week and get it back to the customer so he can get it back down to Dothan, Alabama, where the car is, and get it back in and get this thing going for him. So thanks again, and we'll be talking to you in a little bit. We're removing our lift plate, getting ready to put a carburetor on this thing. Lift plate's real nice for picking the engine up and down and moving it around. Works out really good. Always need to be real careful when you're working around a open intake manifold, because you sure don't want something to get down in there that drop all the way down through the engine and you're not aware of it. So we'll always leave this lift plate on to the last thing that we do. We don't want no washers or extra bolts or nuts finding their way inside the engine. That would be not a very good thing. Got a new carburetor mounting gasket for it. So in this particular application, I'm going to run a 1/2-inch phenolic carburetor spacer. It has two purposes. It acts as an insulator as well as a carburetor spacer. So I like to run these because it insulates the carburetor from heat. You don't want a lot of heat transfer from the actual engine intake manifold up through the end of the carburetor, getting the gas heated up, warmed up, kind of leads to vapor lock, which is not a good idea. Again, when you put this thing on and tighten it up, you need to be very careful and not over tighten one side more than the other when you initially put it on there, because it will. Make sure we get no throttle hanging up. Crank it on and see if I get some oil pressure. everyone. Welcome to Ben Auto Parts Facebook page. This is Thursday morning. So what we're going to be doing today is episode stage number 5 of the Pontiac build going into 67 GTO. So what we got going on this morning, and this will be our last little video about this particular engine. We've got this engine mounted on the engine run-in stand. We've got everything hooked up, water in it, oil in it. I think you've already seen a sneak preview of it. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to finish this out. We're going to go ahead and crank it up and let you hear it run, see it run, and going to set some timing. Timing's kind of preset. We're going to go in there and do a final set on our timing and get this thing ready for the customer. Get back in that 67 GTO. I know he's ready for it. It's got to go to Dothan, Alabama, where it's going to be put in. So just a few things, a few little features. We're running this engine with Ben Auto Parts house carburetor on it. We like to use our own carburetors because we know that they're good carburetors. We don't have any fuel flooding issues because you surely don't want to wash out any rings when you're trying to break in an engine. So this engine is going to go through 3 to 4 break-in processes. We run each one we try to get 20 minutes. Sometimes the water temperature won't let you get to 20 minutes. When we get the water temperature up to about 200 degrees, we'll shut it down and let it cool down naturally, and then we'll fire it up again and go through the same process. So it normally takes a run-in period of 3 to 4 20-minute run-ins to get everything seated, get the rings kind of seated in the cylinders, to get everything settled in and get that water temperature stabilized. We like to see the water temperature stabilize about 160, 170, 180 degrees, right in that neighborhood. We always run our engines with no thermostat in them. We don't want a thermostat. We want the water to be able to flow freely through the cooling system without trying to get a thermostat up to 190 degrees and then it opens. You know, by the time it gets to 190 degrees, we wouldn't have 2 minutes of run time left. So that's the way we do it. So with that being said, we're going to give this thing a fire up and finish this video up for you, and just want to say that we hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a good build for the customer. We're proud of this engine. So just a little preview of what's coming. So starting next week, which would be actually our first week of January, we're going to start highlighting each of the different services we offer through our machine shop. We're going to start off with the drop-off area. Once an engine comes to us, it's dropped off by the customer, and then the process it goes through to be disassembled, start getting everything cleaned and manufactured and checked, and then we'll go into each department. We're going to go to the block department, let you see what happens in our block department as far as boring, honing, cam bearings, freeze plugs, actually see the boring bar in action, hopefully, and then we'll go into our head department, and we're going to show you the process that we go through with cylinder heads, reworking the cylinder heads and new valves, you know, springs, guides, seats, whatever it takes. So, and then the last department we'll probably touch on again is the crank department, which would include engine balancing. We'll just kind of highlight our engine balancing one more. So that's kind of what you get to look forward to in the month of January. We're going to just kind of be focusing on our services that we offer, so that as we go into 2023 here and get it kicked in high gear, you'll know everything that we do here at Ben Auto Parts and the processes that we go through to get your engine to this finished up category look. So this is what it looks like when everything comes together. So you got block, crank, heads, balancing, cleaning, disassembly, all those processes we'll be highlighting. So we appreciate you tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed this build. We hope that you've enjoyed everything that we have been doing for you in 2022 as far as showing our services and what we really do here. And look forward to 2023 and your continued support and your continued watching us take care and perform these things on our Facebook page. So once again, Thanks for tuning in and have a great week. Thank you. Alrighty. So, here we go.